magkakilala tayo.
Okay. I'm Emmanuel. I studied history, and currently I'm working for an IT company, but I'm here with my girlfriend, which she thinks.
Hi, I'm Holly. I study in Allegoria University. I'm visiting.
Ulan Cruz po, sinising ko sa ng Ayan City.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Leo. I studied literature and I'm in the
Afternoon, I'm Serafin po from Quezon City.
Hello, I'm Jane Salvador from Ayala Museum, and I handle the artist space gallery.
Hello, I'm Ale from Ayala Museum. Afternoon, I'm Joanne Milano from Ayala Museum, Graphic Design.
Hi, I'm Pam from Ayala Museum, Exhibitions Associate.
Also from Ayala Museum, Jay from the Research and Publications Group.
Salamat tayo ng museum. Of course, so, balik tayo. So, Allegoria 1, the art piece as closed text. Konting background, we started parang itong exhibition proposal siguro mga more than a year ago. Tapos si Jojo nga yung nag-connect sa aming lahat at in-invite kami if we're interested doon sa isang exhibition sa group show. Hindi kami lahat magkakilala. Yung iba through parang iba-ibang networks. Actually, nung nag-open, parang first time yung ibang mga artist na nakita-kita. Pero 1 year in the making yung konsepto ng project. Tapos, ang conversation was done online. So, introduce ko si Jojo para magkwento ng konti on the theme of Allegory. Yung concept of why Allegory ang ating parang naging theme.
Actually, ang Allegoria 1 is supposed to be a sub-series of shows on the allegory. Ang mother series niya is the art piece as a closed text. Ang ibig sabihin nun, yung Umberto Eco na ang definition niya ng dadalawa lang daw yung literary. Of course, yung literary theory na yun, nagamit na rin sa other arts, kasama na sa painting. Na ang closed text, siya, nagmamanage siya ng sarili niyang meaning, significance. Yung open text, yung hinahayaan yung audience na, maghanap tayo yung meaning dyan. Like, halimbawa sa realism, for one extreme example. So, bakit ito ang naisip ng diskurso dato? Naisip ito ng diskurso dato dahil ito yung extension ng aming mission, which is to bring back discourse into the art scene, into the art community in the Philippines. Siguro wrong yung pagsabihin bring back kasi discourse hasn't been done naman. Hadn't done. Siguro put a spotlight on discourse dahil marami kasi akong nakikita sa anecdotal evidence. Iba ako sa mga Facebook groups. Pero maririnig ng mga artists na at the same time na nagre-reklamo sila na kulang daw yung critics sa art scene. Nagre-reklamo din sila na ang critics daw ay parasite lang. At the same time, sasabihin din nila na pag mayroong negative na sasabihin ng critic, sasabihin nila, parasite lang yan eh. Tayo gumagawa ng art, dapat tayo ang pinagiginggan. Pero at the same time, sasabihin din nila, ang trabaho natin is to make art. Ang trabaho ng critic is to find meanings in our art. Yung mga ganong contradiction na position, contradictory na position. So naisip namin, bring back, imbis na ikaw, artist ka, maghihintay ka ng pagdating ng critic na mag-elevate sa art mo, mag-hype ng art mo. Bakit hindi mo simulan? Ikaw na mag-instigate mismo. nag-discourse about your work. Yeah, and one of the devices available to the artist is the allegory. Kasi pag meron kang allegory, hindi kang the manager of your artist. Ikaw yung manager ng meaning. Hindi, kasi meron din mga pagkakataon na nakikita mo na halimbawa merong museum director, ganda na nandito si Ayala may museum director, pero hindi, wala akong tinutukoy na nangyari sa inyo. May ibang lugar na nangyari ko. May museum director na collection ng artists for a show. Tapos sabi niya, ito yung political direction ng show na ito. Tapos nung in-interview yung mga artists, ang isang artist sabi, hindi naman talaga ako political eh. Yung merong, teka mo muna, ba't mo pinili itong artist na to for a political show na hindi naman daw siya political? Yung gano'n na so, parang, ang nangyayari, nagagamit lang yung artist for a certain agenda, good or bad. So, ang artist, hindi siya manager ng kanyang semantics. Hindi siya manager ng semantics niya. Meron nagmamanage sa kanya. So, dumating yung panahon na parang ang artist ngayon, marami, hindi lahat, marami, ang naging skilled worker na lang. So, ang tanong, from a Marxist perspective siguro, ito ba yung gusto ng industry na skilled worker lang tapos ang industry ang nagmamanage sa semantics niya, sa significance niya. So ikaw, artist ka, tumahimik ka na lang, skilled worker ka lang. Ako ang mag-manage yung significance mo. At kaya sa pang scenario, minsan, like, art fair. Art fair is, we have no beef against the art fair. It's a good venue for the contemporary works, social works. Pero, ano ba talaga yung nangingibabaw sa atmosphere ng art fair? Siguro nagiging campus siya for the most attractive. Pero kasi sa history ng art, meron mga works na sa unang tingin mo, hindi ba yan? William de Kooning, it's an ugly work. Pero why did people talk about it? Pero pag pinsanin mo sa real art history, why people talked about William de Kooning, doon mo naintindihan. So hindi siya, kung ilalagay mo si William de Kooning sa art fair, hindi siya attractive. So mananalo siya sa art fair? Hindi. Ang mananalo, attractive. Diba? Yung parang bumababaw ang usapin. Which is not entirely bad. We have nothing against attractiveness. We just want to present an alternative approach to the attractive. Siguro, approach the attractive from a deeper perspective. And the ugly from a deeper perspective, likewise. Yung basically yung rational behind the artist as a closed text, to empower the artist to become a participant in the management of his semantics.
Siguro nagiging parang ang kasalukuyang kaganapan sa Philippine art scene ngayon, although meron tayong parang robust na eksena tulad ng pang-ilang taon na ang art fair ngayon, tapos record yung every year nag-i-increase ang attendance. Okay? So maganda yan, actually yan kasi exposure ng trabaho ng mga artists, especially yung mga batang generation ng artists. Pero ang tanong din, ano yung trabaho na ipinapalabas? Ano yung laman? Ano yung kung meron mang timbang na critical dun sa output nila na nagiging meaningful, no? Yung ating pag-appreciate ng art. At the moment, I remember kasi we're from the 90s, no? Yung generation namin noon, wala pa yung art fair. Walang art auctions. Usually yung mga auctions dun sa mga trabaho ng mga masters. No? Pero doon sa relatively maliit na art scene noon, sustainable siya. Nabubuhay ang production ng art. Hindi masyadong matataas ang mga presyo, pero mas malakas yung kultura ng diskurso. Kasi bawa, 90s or mid-80s na we were in a political situation na ang society natin nagkakaroon ng turning point. So mga artists noon at that time, yun ang pinag-uusapan, diskurso, no? Kasama ang art at malinaw yung tingin kong mga Allegoria na lumalabas sa mga trabaho. Ngayon, panahon ng globalization, nag-open na yung market, maraming opportunities sa atin. Pero minsan, at least sa personal perspective ko, kung may ganong criticality yung trabaho ng mga artist, no? Mahalaga yung tingin ko para personally para mapayabong, no? Yung aking practice. Kasi alam kong kumukonekta siya sa kultura. Meron siyang direct na parang impact doon sa kultura. Tapos yun yata yung earlier discussion kasi kung halimbawa isang work ngayon, yung binanggit mo tungkol kay William Lepuning, no? Merong parang memory ng work kasi umiikot yung artwork na yun sa konteksto ng isang kultura. Halimbawa, ang American culture, no? Sabi natin, at the time, ang concerns ng panahon na yun, nakaugat. Yung ngayon, sa akin personal observation, baka parang hindi nakaugat. Bumibili tayo ng artwork, nagko-consume tayo, pero parang mas mabigat yung commodification niya. Halimbawa, yung pagtimbang ng isang work na on aesthetic levels lang. Pero hindi natin naiintindihan yung malalim na parang konteksto ng trabaho. So ito siguro yung ine-explore ng exhibition. Paano i-reclaim yung spaces na yun para magkaroon ng matimbang na meaning yung work ng artist at ina-articulate ng artist. At yan din yung parang in conversation doon sa kanyang audience at saka doon sa nagsusupport din ng ganong klaseng production. So siguro yung next na pupuntahan natin ngayon is introduce na natin yung
issue na ako sa Allegoria. Bakit yung Allegoria yung sa close text na issue? Bakit sa Allegoria kami nag-launch yung series nito? Ang Allegoria kasi, di ba, kung umikot ka rito, ikikita mo yung wow, ang ganda ng kulay, wow, ang ganda ng shapes, wow. Pero these are just half of the story. Ang Allegoria kasi, the art is, that's only half of the story. The other half is the allegory, which you will come to know if you read the catalog. Kasi ang allegory is textual. Textual ang allegory. In fact, pero ang parati natin natatanong, ang nasasabi, the art must be able to stand on its own. Yun ang klase na niya, di ba? Sabi nga ni Tom Wolfe, isang conservative na critic, ang modernism daw has become the painted word. Hindi mo daw maintindihan unless binasa mo yung word about it. Hindi mo maintindihan si Jasper Johns unless magbasa ka tungkol kay Jasper Johns. Yung painted word daw, modernism. But art has always been with the word from the get-go. Narrative paintings and cave paintings were narrative, literary. The biblical paintings of the Renaissance were literary. Lahat ng paintings noon were literary. Kung hindi man, halimbawa, Van Gogh. Van Gogh hindi siya literary. Pinag-uusapan ko kay Van Gogh yung kanyang interpretation of nature, yung kanyang brush strokes, yung kanyang paint, hindi naman nag-underpainting, so on and so forth. Pero why did people start talking about Van Gogh? People started talking about Van Gogh at that period in history na sawa-sawa ng tao sa Impressionism. So gusto nila extend ng Impressionism, kaya tinawag ng Post-Impressionism. Nakita nila ito sa mga tao tulad kay Van Gogh. So pinag-usapan nila si Van Gogh, ito yung isang way by which Impressionism could extend. Kasi Impressionism was a revolution against the Paris Salon. Tapos extension yung matulad ni Van Gogh. Van Gogh was not totally unaware of what the attention on him was all about. Diba? Kasi in his letters to his brother, ina-articulate niya yung concerns niya dun sa painting niya, which had a lot to do with the post-impressionist concerns at the time. So, kahit hindi literary yung words niya were cultural. So, walang separation between the work and the culture around it. Ganun din ang allegory. The allegorical art piece, does not stand on its own in square na frame siya na yun. Hindi siya, walang kinalaman yung society around it. Hindi gano'n eh. Sabi nga sa Marxist criticism, ang art piece cannot exist by itself. Influence siya ng politics around it, kasama niyo yung means of production, producing the artwork. By the way, as a clarification, Marxist criticism is not necessarily communist criticism. Okay? Just to be clear about that. It's a Marxism of questions, not a Marxism of solutions. So yun ang reason kung bakit yung kami sa Allegoria, dahil gusto namin i-present yung artwork, art pieces, that exists not by themselves alone. Kasi ganun, pag pinapamodify natin yung art piece sa era natin, wala na yung discourse. Siya na lang yun. Yung painting, wow, ganda. Gusto ko yung kulay niya. Pero hindi natin ina-associate sa allegorical intent ng artist dun sa work niya. So, tulad ng mga paintings ng dati, halimbawa, Da Vinci, the culture around it strengthened the painting, and the painting strengthened the culture. So it was a symbiotic relationship. Ngayon, merong mga art pieces na kasi ang ayokong mangyari, maging handicrafts na lang ang art sa art culture natin. Dapat hindi natin mahintulutan na maging handicrafts na lang. Yun lang naman. Yun ang nakabago.
Siguro meron potency kasi noon yung artist nun sa trabaho niya. Or yung active yung kanyang connection dun sa trabaho. Hindi siya namimitigate sa labas. Kasi minsan nagbabago na yung meaning. Pag lumabas na siya, nag-circulate. Siguro, posibleng sabihin nung nagbago yung practice ng art, image making during agrarian societies pa noon, feudal times. Iba yung circulation ng art. Panahon ng prehistoric, cave painting noon, art was close to magic or ritual, depicting the hunt, para mangyari yung hunt. So yung negation, hindi masyadong dumadaan, direct. So parang merong ganong crisis ngayon, at least dun sa mga artists na nag-uusap dito sa show, yung reclamation ng spaces. Kasi nga, highly, parang marami na siyang pinupuntahan as a commodified object within a siguro capital system. Pero pwede ka pa rin maging critical sa practice na yun. Nasa loob tayo ng ganong klaseng economic system, pero pwede pa rin tayo magsalita at mag-reclaim ng mga spaces. So, yan yung parang continuing na inaaral. So, ako tingin ko sa show, parang pinag-aaralan pa rin natin ito. No? It's a way of creating discourse, and hopefully our audiences also. Kasi especially marami rin dito involved sa arts, kung paano nagsisirculate ang art to art galleries or art institutions, museums. Mediation nun eh. Paraan yun ng pag-disseminate ng information. So, reclaiming of spaces and hopefully creating that parang critical dialogue.
Dati kasi ang artist, part siya ng intelligensya. Hindi mo naman kailangan ng IQ na 100 para maging member ng intelligensya. Basta may boses ka lang. Parang nawala yun. Parang ang artist ngayon, skilled worker na lang. At mayroong intelligensya na mag-represent sa kanya. Parang yun. Hindi na siya part ng, hindi na siya intellectual class.
Siguro yung next na question pag ikot natin is yung paano yung mga challenges individually sa Kasi iba-ibang mga practices tayo pinanggagalingan. So, siguro kung pwedeng mag-share tayo ng paano natin in-approach yung theme ng show. Tapos, ano rin yung nakikita natin sa sariling practice natin, sa sarili nating art form or sino gusto mo siya? Gusto mo siya? Ayan? Okay.
Magandang hapon sa lahat. Ako si Ayan Victorian. Yun yung works ko. Nakasabi. In-invite ako ni Jojo dito sa show. Sabi niya, isa sa mga reasons niya kasi fictionist kasi ako nagsusunod ako short stories, screenplay. So, nabagay ko dito sa show nito. Textual tayo. Ako mo, may parang naturally allegorical siya. Pero sa art practice ko, sa painting ako, hindi ako masyado aware ng allegorical hanggang nung i-bring up niya yung idea ng allegory. Kinailangan ko pa nga i-search sa Google mo ano ito. Allegory, ano difference sa metaphor. So, pagdating dito sa show na to, hinanap yung pinaka-anong work may papagay doon. So, yung aspect na naisip ko ng trabaho na babagay doon sa show. Kasi yung bukod dun sa textual na laman ng painting, may takot dyan, or may puno dyan, or may bundok dyan. Habang pag nagpipinta ako, parang sa ngayon, for the past 5 years, siguro, dami siyang siya inspiration. Parang ang laman niya sa likod niya, parang yung attempt natin na to understand reality. Na para sa akin, ang conclusion ko, parang imposible siya gawin. At nagdudulot yun sa akin sa pag-iisip na parang pain or parang yun yung ng human condition natin na ultimately hindi natin talaga maiintindihan kung ano yung totoo. Nagsimula yun sa akin kasi isip ko kunyari yung langgam, hindi naman niya alam ng tao kaya na. Kasi hindi ganun yung pag-iisip niya. So ako, hindi ko rin alam kung ako yung langgam at meron ka ng parang tao. Hindi ko talaga siya maiintindihan. Kahit na tignan mo siya in religious terms, kaya Diyos, may paradise or afterlife, tatanungin mo pa rin, nasan yun? Bakit meron ganun? At para sa akin, hindi mo siya masasagot. At pag nasagot mo, siguradong mali yung sagot. Kasi parang kulang yung pag-iisip mo para malaman mo yung sagot. So, hindi yun literally gusto kong sabihin dun sa work. Pero parang nakaka-apekto yun dun sa paggawa ko ng trabaho. So, nung sinabi niyang allegorical, sinubukan kong gawing gano'n, i-articulate yun ng konti doon sa textual elements sa trabaho. So, yun yung allegorical part.
Mahalaga ba yung titling? At least dun sa process ng exhibition.
Ako kasi dati hindi ako nagsa-title. Usually yung works one title. Nung ginawa allegorical, may title na siya. Yung title nyo siya yung Guide Man's Mirror. Yung nandun sa pinaka-part na yun. Actually, nung pinaliwanag ni George sa akin, nasa naiintindihan ko. Naisip ko yung title kasi parang yun na yung nag-crystallize naman sa akin. Parang Guide Man's Mirror kasi parang bulag nga tayo lahat. Hindi talaga natin maintindihan. So, kahit na yung paraan para maintindihan natin yung reality, posibleng nandun siya. Pero, hindi mo siya malalaman. Kasi kung narin yung bulag, hindi naman yung makikita sa video niya sa sarili. Kung nabasa niyo yung catalog, ang technique yun, parang ganun din yung art. Parang nag-a-allegorize ka rin pagdating sa art na yung approach art na parang mag-drawing. tapos nandyan yung ibig sabihin, hindi mo rin nakikita, or minsan yung audience, hindi significant sa kanila yung sinasabi mo. Kunyari yung sinasabi ko, kasi sa personal ano ko yun, na ang parang pain ko talaga parang hindi mo maiintindihan. Nasar ako na kahit anong mangyari, hindi mo maiintindihan kung ano talaga yun. Hindi social reality, hindi political reality, kundi parang reality. Tawag doon. So, yun yung tapos sabi niya, pwede rin yan sa pag tinignan mo siya ng parang allegorical art, how you approach art. Pwede rin siya. So, sa Thomas, pwede rin. So, yun yung approach na ginawa ko dito sa
Tapos si Raymond Red, yung works ko yung nandun sa corner, na dalawang maliit na work ko sa front. You make objects, and then I used photo print on canvas. Ang background ko is visual arts, pero for a very long time, parang kinonsider ko sarili ko na wala ako sa formal visual arts because naging filmmaker ako. So yun ang talaga naging career ko na, yun ang ginagawa ko. In fact, I made a living out of doing TV commercials. Yun yung practical side. At the same time, I do my personal films. Strangely, I've never made a official commercial mainstream film. Hindi dahil sinadya ko yun, but I guess ayaw nila sa akin. Nagkaroon ng mga opportunities to meet producers, gano'n. And I tell them, ito yung gusto kong gawin, ayaw nila produce. So hanggang ngayon, I'm a struggling, I always say that, I'm still a struggling independent filmmaker. And I don't say that in a negative way or in a parang unfortunate way. Parang sa akin, masaya ako na I'm struggling. So, nag-struggle ako to do the film. So, through all those years, tinatry kong bumalik sa visual arts. Kasi actually, medyo frustrated ako. Nung kaka-schoolmates kami sa Philippine High School for the Arts, si Alvin din. So, visual arts talaga ako, major. Noong time na yun, nagpa-photography din ako sa makiling. So, siguro doon ang galing yung cinema yung interest sa cinema because of the technology involved in photography. At the same time, I'm trying to tell stories, which we all tried din sa painting. Nagkikwento ka sa painting. So I guess yung interest na nagsama, tapos na-discover may other visual art form pala, which is cinema. And that's how I treated film. Parang ang tingin ko, painter pa rin ako, tapos pumunta ako sa film. So not the traditional, formal cinema art form, yun yung pinasok ko. Sa akin, ang tingin ko, pintor pa rin ako na gumagawa ko film. Anyway, so sa lahat ng taon na yun, naamin ko, parang frustrated ako, tinatry ko bumalik sa painting. Pero wala akong matapos-tapos kasi napapanitan ako sa painting kasi naiingit na ako na Alvin. Kasi nagkaroon ng mga group shows din kami, yung mga graduate ng Philippine High School for the Arts. Sumasali din naman ako, but laging ang feeling ko saan pusa ako kasi yung nai-insecure ako sa mga works ko. So aminin ko, nitong tinawagan ako kay Jojo na isali daw ako. I felt I'm coming in from the cold, tapos parang feeling ko, paano to? Ang hirap nito. Kasi even though I joined some exhibitions in the past years, ang mga exhibit ko usually video installation, which here, nagtagay din kami, ni John, yung brother ko. Si John, ito yung painting siya. So kasi filmmaker din si John. But at least si John, compared to John, hindi nga, malaki din yung ko kay John, tinuloy niya talaga yung painting. Ever since, nagpipinta pa rin si John while he's doing films. Ako hirap na hirap ako na makabalik. So, namimiss ko nga yung early 80s kasi nag-oil paint ako na parang feeling ko through the years, kinalawang yung kamay ko. Hindi na ako magaling mag-drawing, hirap na hirap ako sa figures. Hirap ako sa mixing ng colors, and so parang very frustrating. Gumagawa ako ng film, so parang dapat ginagawa ko yung films, create images, by hand. And
Film still.
na-frustrate ako. I ended up using photography ulit. So those are photographs ko naman talaga na studies. Studies yun ang makapili. Hindi ko pa nagagawa yung film yun. Nag-photograph ako ng mga actors. Actually, yung isa nakabayong doon, kung nakita nyo, si John Arcelia. I don't know if that would matter, but hindi nyo makita yung mukha niya. But, so, ginamit ko na lang yung photo and then use the objects. And, interesting sa akin yung allegory kasi ginagawa ko rin sa film yun eh. And lalo na yung concept ng closed text. Pag gumagawa ko sa mga film, may message ka talaga na gusto iparating sa viewers. But at the same time, you do open it to interpretation. And I always think, as an artist, kasama yun eh. Parang progresibo yung pag-iisip eh. So, in fact, sometimes audiences see certain things in my films na hindi naman in-intend. And yet, sa akin, because progressive yung mag-isip mo na, okay yun. Because may napulot yung tao from that experience. In fact, yun yung nagustuhan ko siguro sa film, kaya na-ship ako sa film, mas naging comfortable na ako. Because para siyang experience, sa akin yan ng film eh. Papanood ko sa tao yun, the same group of people, but every individual will experience it differently, di ba? Para mag-field trip tayo, lahat tayo, same field trip, punta tayong Baguio, pero bawat isa sa inyo, pag kinwento nyo yung trip na yun, iba ang experience sa bawat isa. So, ganun ang tingin ko sa cinema. And as an artist, I'm just providing you that experience. But at the same time, yun nga, meron akong sarili na I think right ko to say na ito yung gusto kong sabihin sa inyo. And I hope makuha niyo yun. So, yung works ko siguro, medyo specific siya. Kasi I'm coming from the idea ng makapili. Nilaro ko lang yung idea na yun. Yung isa, kung nakita nyo, yung makapili parang yung bayo niya parang may sungay. So, nilalaro ko kay Batman. Kaya may mga Batmobile doon. So, napaka-literal nun. But I look at the Batmobiles almost like Beatles and insects. Parang ang idea ko na pinuputakte yung makapili. But parang may joke siya. You know, yung makapili, ginawa kong Batman. And that's why yung title, Balat Kayo. Kasi tungkol sa pagiging, you know, pagiging fake ng tao, pagbabalat kayo. Yun yung core idea behind makapili, di ba? Mga traitor sila eh. Ayaw nila makilala sila, so nagpapayon sila sa ulo. So nilaro ko yung konsepto yun na nanggaling actually sa script namin. Si Ayan is a screenwriter, as I said. Co-writers kami ng story niya. And we hope to make that film very soon. So I guess siguro brought about by the frustrations then of not being able to do this movie. This script is already 25 years old. Sinimula namin. And every time, pag hindi ma-produce, tinatabi ko yan, gumagawa ko na ibang film. So, itong 2000s, nakatatlong feature films ako. Medyo mabagal ako I don't know if you've heard of my son, Mikael Red, na unahan na nga niya ako. Mas sikat na siya. In fact, pinapakilala na ako as the father of Mikael Red na yun. But yun yung process ko ng, so, nung na-invite ako dito, tuwa ako kasi parang feeling ko baligtad ngayon. Parang ang tingin ko sa ginagawa ko, filmmaking. Parang the way when I went into film, ang tingin ko noon, nagpe-painting pa rin ako. No, so the way I put ideas, use allegory, very similar sa ginawa ko through my films kasi 35 years na ako nagpe-films. So, yun, tuwang-tuwa ako nung nakasali ako kasi parang slowly tinatry ko bumalik. Although, inamin ko nga, I was so frustrated with the paintings I did. I ended up using photographs. And para sa akin, at bumagay pa rin naman kasi objects yung ginamit ko. I don't know kung nakuha niyo yung isa rin. Yung second work is may references to military and yun eh. Kaya lang you have to recognize it. Yung may figure na artist figure, pero in the head, I don't know if you recognize it. It comes from a vintage G.I. Joe figure. Ang G.I. Joe kasi ano eh, lumabas yung toy niya 1964. Anyway, military figure siya, di ba? So yun yung gusto kong ipakita doon by using it. But using an artist dummy body, di ba? And then, yun, may references again to three-dimensional na makapili, and may figure na torture, gano'n. So almost literal yung pinapakita ko doon eh. Kasi those are ideas actually coming from the script namin ng makapili, which is World War II setting. So yun yung general approach na ginawa ko.
So, may tatanong sana ako. Kasi yung sa field ng filmmaking, meron din parang similar, parang dilemma, yung pag gumagawa ka ng pelikula, tapos may malinaw yung allegory. Kung paano ito namimigate within the community of filmmakers or yung audience mo ng pelikula. Or, kasi sabi ko, meron ganong parang dilemma sa visual arts. So, ano yung experience mo, for example, sa cinema?
I guess parang yung sinabi ko earlier, and it relates a lot dun sa text natin doon kung nabasa mo yung explanation nga ng allegory and the concept ng closed text. Na yung filmmaker, gano'n din, as an artist, you're closing the text, you're saying ito yan, ito ang sabihin yan, gano'n. And yet, you're aware naman na people are free to interpret it, di ba? In fact, gusto ko kasabi mo, pwede na i-bastardize, pwede na, di ba? Pwede totally different yung reading nyo eh. And we all know that in film, no? Ang first advantage ng film, mas popular siya, mas commercialized ng cinema. I guess, yung filmmaking ko, siguro yung challenge yung tinatry ko, that's why I remain independent. Kasi I treat it like painting na eh. So nahihirapan ako migrate into real mainstream commercial cinema. Not that there's something totally wrong with that. Like ngayon nga, tuwa ako sa son ko. He's shooting a film with Charo Santos, Star Cinema na. So ang bilis nakakapasok ng new generation of filmmakers. But I stand by yung convictions ko when I went into filmmaking. When I went into film, para sa akin painter pa rin ako. Hindi ako nagbago. So nandun yung problem niya. You make a film, you put it out. Your best case nga, kanina pinag-uusapan natin, Henry Luna, it's a very successful film, box office hit siya. But I was saying nga, people watched it, hindi ko nilalahat, but many people probably watched it for the wrong reasons. And yet, that's their right. Di ba? Kaya naging box office hit. Kasi, in fact, the producers themselves thought wala, yung first week ng film, babagsak na eh. Bigla ng second week, nag-pick up, nakatulong ang social media, nagkaroon pa ng mga memes yan, and mga jokes, and then, so, maraming tao dyan nanood because yung barkada nila nagjo-joke, hindi na maintindihan. Curious, sinasabi ng nagagalit si General, Nieta, mga ganun. So, manood ako, may iiwan ako eh. So, ang laki natulong ng social media. So, yun yung sinasabi ko, it's the wrong reasons. And yet, I'm not saying wala sila napulot. Baka eventually, when they saw it, for the wrong reason, but baka may mas malawak sila napulot after watching it. So yun eh, yun yung mga things that happen sa surrounding ng artwork at ng artist na minsan hindi mo na-expect and hindi mo pinipredict or hindi mo in-intend. And yet, it happens. At the same time, hindi mo pwede baliwalay yun. You have to connect with that, even though hindi mo pinlano or in-intend yun.
Just to add to that, ang artist as communicator, yung communication ng artist ng kanyang gusto i-communicate is always a struggle talaga. Whether a million people got it, that the shape of water is an allegory of otherness or not, it was a struggle. The Benicio del Toro struggled to communicate that allegory in his film. So, ganun yung evolution kasi ng communication ng artist. Pag nag-fail siya, he looks for other ways to make his point clearer the next time. Talagang ganun. Sabi nga ng yung sa General Luna, for example, nagkaroon ng debate na yung producers daw ng General Luna or they wanted Articulo 1 agenda to be put forward. Sabi naman ng iba, hindi daw nangyari yun dahil ang appreciation daw ng karamihan na iwas ang anti-globalization. Yan. Pero ang point lang naman ng show na to is for the artist to make an effort to communicate what he wants to communicate. If he has anything to communicate. Because otherwise, if you don't have anything to communicate, you don't belong in the show. So you just participate in any of those shows that we might be putting up exclude a show where you don't know where you're going. You don't know what you're doing into. Which is let's then be the title of the show. We don't know what we're doing with these. It's gonna be the title of the show. That's some opposite pieces of the show that we have here.
Gusto ko itagdag yung, kasi I started talking about it when going into cinema, parang ang may naka-affect nung ginagawa ko is technology. I mean, alam naman natin lahat yung technology is really changing our lives. So, definitely na-affect ang art. And interesting kasi, laging struggle sa akin yun, parang yung technology sa cinema. And then, dati, iniisip ko rin sa visual arts. I know, di ba, photography, na-affect yan, naging digital na, so it became popular, accessible, everybody becomes a photographer na. Yun yung argument, it's happening in film right now, parang kahit sino raw, pwede naman filmmaker. And I know nag-struggle sa visual arts yan, di ba? Pero how we read these paintings, how we appreciate it. Parang struggle hindi ko naman ito kasama. Basta sa besa ko po kami sa Starbucks, basta patingin ako sa walls nila, ang ganda ng malalaking graphic images na parang artwork ng tasa, mga kapit. Tagal ko siya tinitingnan, kasi sabi ko, ang strange, kasi parang right now, I'm staring at this and admiring it. And it's almost like the purpose of art. Di ba when you sit down and just stare at the painting? Pero yun nga, yung realization, there's more to art kasi you have to respect the artist, bakit habang niya ginawa yun gusto niya. Whereas yung tasang yun, tasa lang siya talaga, di ba? Pinopromote ng Starbucks ang coffee. And yet, ang ganda, di ba? Ang ganda naman ng graphics, but yun yung dilemma or yun yung challenge ngayon. Ano nga ba ang difference nung tasang yun na ang ganda naman tingnan na nasa Starbucks kaysa sa isang painting na nasa gallery? I guess yung hope ng artist is yung audience din, hindi naman tumulong. Hindi natin din tulungan yung applicant. But we're communicating it. And when you're an artist, you put yourself out there. Yun nga yung film, di ba? Once you put your work out there, lalo yung film kasi napaka-commercial. Put it on YouTube, you can show it in cinemas, and you're open to any criticism and interpretation na So, lagi na sinasabi, ayaw ko yung mga artists who say, kanya criticize yung work na sabihin na, or let's say sa film, sabihin nila, the audience is not yet ready for my work. Para sa akin, kanakuhan yun, kasi the audience is always ready. Ang question is, are you ready to face what they're going to say? You put it out there, but stand by your message, your convictions dun sa gusto mong sabihin.
So now we'll clarify that. We're not waging war with artists who just want to attract and beautify the environment. We're just offering alternative to art making, art consumption, which is beyond approaching the beautiful and the attractive, and with an attitude deeper than wow.
Third ko naman. share ko dun sa challenge ng allegory, pag-create ng allegory for this exhibition. Tapos, hindi challenge yan, pero kasi first curated show na meron kang parang problematic. Tapos magandang discipline yan kasi often dun sa sarili kong practice, I curate my own show. Tapos actually I also look at art making as my way of parang artistic creative provocation. Ang intention ko as an artist is to create dialogue with an audience. Tapos I do that with, I use objects. Tapos maraming sources, na maraming ingredients doon sa work. Kasama yung context ng space. First time to exhibit in a gallery space in a mall. Tapos with these wide windows, glass windows. Tapos yung original plan ko, malayo dun sa unang mga ideas for the exhibition. Pero I often use found objects, I make objects, tapos yung objects na yan, nagmamigrate yan. Yung lumilitaw siya sa mga lumang works, pero minsan nawawala, tapos bumabalik, nagle-layer. Meron ganun parang process yung aking pagtrabaho. So, constantly in flux yung work. Nung nakita ko yung glass, ang sabi ko, I'd like to do an allegory on a historical parang art allegory, which was the yung titling nito, yung based dun sa iconic work ni Marcel Duchamp. Pero ang approach dun sa Marcel Duchamp, kasi yung work ng The Large Glass, o ang original title niya is The Bride Stripped Bare by Her Bachelors. Iconic work yan. It was a work that was started in, I think, 1915 during the Great War, First World War. Basically, yung work na to, it's a parang response o revolt ni Duchamp, sa painting. So, gumawa siya object, materials. Ang isang description ng The Large Glass, kasi it's parang exploration ng playful physics daw. Of course, si Marcel Duchamp is a Frenchman, no? Hindi tayo French culture, Filipino culture. Pero siguro meron tayong connection sa France, to our history. So, as an artist, interested din ako sa parody. So sabi ko kay Jojo nung discussion namin, allegory pero moving into parody. Using the iconic work, The Large Glass, Bride Stripped Bare by Her Bachelors, by Marcel Duchamp. So sabi ko, I'll create a work of fiction. Ang artist title ng work na to is Marcel H. Del Duchamp Pilar. Conflating Marcel Duchamp, the historical Marcel Duchamp, and Marcelo H. Del Pilar. Layo ng connection. Pero, pareho silang nagsishare ng first name. Okay? First name, tapos pareho rin silang may interest sa literary writing. I specifically focusing into yung ginawa ni H. Del Pilar na Dasalan at Tuksohan, which was a parody on the religious orders, no? Sinasubvert niya yung abang yung barya, nakakapuno ka ng alkansya. Yan yung first line ng It shares, parang may commonality siya kay Marcel Duchamp. Kasi si Marcel Duchamp is also known for playing with words, mga puns. So sinasabi ng isang writer yung first letters daw ng title in French is actually spelling out yung Marcel Duchamp. The Large Glass is parang divided into parts. Yung the bride's domain, yung upper part ng glass, tapos yung lower part, which is the male apparatus. Ang kwento niya, para raw siyang machine, no? Yung isang writer sinulat siya, it's a love machine. So, yung female domain nasa taas, tapos nandito yung male machine na parang merong makina siya na in perpetual, sabi niya, parang frustration. Tapos relegated to parang self-pleasuring, no? Masturbation. Tapos tina-target niya yung female sa taas, pero hindi napakonsummate yung gusto niyang mangyari. Tapos sabi ko, you know, reading through the work, no, yung history ng work. Kasi si Marcel Duchamp, hindi niya rin binigyan ng direct meaning yung work. Pero meron siyang iniwan doon sa work. And the work was done in 1915 natapos 1923. Nag-iwan siya ng parang compilation ng mga writings, no? Parang identifying different parts of this machine. Siguro mga 30 plus parts, no? Merong isang part yung the battle of the revolution of the battle of Benedictine. I mean, ano ibig sabihin, no? Parang hindi mo mahuli kasi ang daming mga ganong parang literary, parang stream of consciousness. Pero yung isang parang sa akin na useful na interpretation ng isang critic, parang reaction din yan ni Marcel Duchamp doon sa nangyayaring conflict ng First World War. Yung the whole war, no, was actually parang developed through technology, through rational thinking, through politics. Pero yung end result niya is parang madness, conflict, death, destruction. So, parang yan yung starting point ko for the work. No? And then conflating it, and then hoping with all the risks. Kasi hindi ko alam kung how people would read yung the large glass, no? Except literally, meron large glass yung gallery, tapos nilagay ko yung illustration with all the anatomical parts of the large glass and designating yung bride, no? Yung bride became the Marcel Duchamp Pillar's Allegoria, you know? So nilaro ko yung allegory for the show, Allegoria, it's a amalgam, tapos the bride stripped bare by air bachelors. So wordplay na naman nito using the Duchampan device. I think yung wordplay na yan is prevalent in Filipino culture. Yan yung constantly, when we talk to power, we use wordplay. You know, and sabi ko risk kasi baka hindi mo makita yan. Ano yung bride? Paano naging bride? The bride to bride. No? Rizal, parang rendering Rizal in a fictionalized parang portrait, you know, borrowing yung urban myth that Rizal actually was the father of Adolf Hitler. May urban myth na nagsisirculate na. So, I'm using yung ganong klaseng fiction, parang fictionalizing, no? So, ilalagay mo, i-equate mo dun sa work, it's a machine that creates fiction. And siguro pwede mong i-attach yan, yung fiction making na naririnig natin ngayon, with fake news, with all these claims of you know, hindi mo na alam saan yung truth, saan yung reality. Ano ba talaga? Pero somehow, when we create fiction, baka pwede rin tayong actually mag-bounce back and maybe make people siguro make the connection of what's really happening. You know? May mga maliliit na recognizable images. I don't think, dahil risk din yun, no? Part ng experimentation ko as an artist, I'm interested in exploring possible ways of creating images and hoping to draw responses from people and engage in a critical dialogue. Pero yun, hindi natin alam kung ano. Kasi I always look at this as a continuing work yan, no? Siguro isang additional reference dun sa Duchamp yan technique, kasi si Duchamp was also a, you know, he invented the ready-made, which was a critique of actually art, no? Joke sa kanya. Kasi he wanted to turn, you know, the art at the time, no? Yung existing culture and visual arts at the time, binabaliktad niya. You know, so lahat joke, wordplay, yung urinal binaliktad. So in this case, I've always been working on pianos, yan din yan yung part ng aking series of rock and roll pianos where you can literally rock and roll the pianos. Pero it's a ano na siya, na decontextualize na siya from an instrument into something different, you know. So, yun nga, siya.